Hello and welcome back to the British Accent Podcast, where English learning meets curiosity and fun. I'm Robert, and I'm thrilled to have you with me today. In this episode, we're diving into something we often take for granted. The everyday inventions that completely transformed how we live. From the humble light bulb to the mighty internet, some ideas were so powerful that the world was never the same after them. These inventions didn't just change one thing. They changed everything. And we're not just talking history here. We'll also explore how these game-changing ideas affect our lives today, and how they continue to evolve in the modern world. Of course, we've also got our regular segments. A movie that fits the theme. A quote to inspire your week. And a look into the world of science. So grab your tea or coffee, get comfortable, and let's begin this journey through the world of brilliant ideas that shaped our everyday lives. Now let's talk about inventions that might seem small, but completely transformed how we live. Take the refrigerator. Before it became common in homes, people had to salt, dry, or smoke their food to preserve it. Thanks to refrigeration, we can now store fresh fruits, vegetables, meat, and milk. For days or even weeks. Another life changer? The washing machine. Before that, doing laundry was a full-day job. Now, you throw your clothes in, press a button, and walk away. These time-saving devices gave people, especially women, more freedom to work, study, and rest. And what about plastic? It started as a miracle material, light, cheap, and moldable. It's in packaging, furniture, clothes, electronics. Almost everything. Of course, we now know plastic has environmental downsides, but it still plays a big role in modern life, especially in medicine. Speaking of medicine, imagine life without vaccines or antibiotics. Diseases that once killed millions can now be prevented or cured. Think of penicillin, discovered by Alexander Fleming in 1928. It opened the door to treating infections and saving lives. Even the mirror changed how we see ourselves. Before mirrors were common, people only saw their reflection in water or polished metal. Now, mirrors are everywhere. In homes, cars, phones, and elevators. They changed how we style ourselves, how we build spaces, and even how we think about our identity. Every one of these inventions, big or small, shapes your everyday life more than you might realize. Let's now turn our focus to the home. Some of the most important inventions are the ones we barely notice, because they've become part of our daily routine. Take the light bulb. Before electric lighting, people used candles or oil lamps. Not only were they dim and expensive, they were also a fire hazard. Thanks to Thomas Edison and others, we now flip a switch and light fills the room instantly. Then there's the vacuum cleaner. It replaced brooms and carpet beaters, making cleaning faster and more efficient. Now, we even have robot vacuums that clean while we sleep. And what about the microwave oven? In the past, heating food took time and effort. But with the microwave, dinner can be ready in minutes. It completely changed how we cook and eat, especially for busy people. Another silent hero is the toilet. Modern plumbing has improved hygiene, prevented disease, and made homes more comfortable. It's something we all use daily but rarely think about. And let's not forget the thermostat. It gives us control over our indoor climate. Warm in winter, cool in summer, at the touch of a button. No more building fires or sweating through summer nights. Each of these inventions might seem ordinary today, but they made home life safer, faster, and more comfortable. They gave us more time and freedom to focus on things that really matter. Family, work, hobbies, and rest. As we move into the digital age, the inventions become even more powerful. Not just changing how we live, but how we think, communicate, and connect. Let's start with the personal computer. At first, computers were massive machines used only in labs or offices. But when PCs entered homes in the 1980s and 90s, they gave people access to word processing, games, and later, the internet. It changed work, education, and entertainment forever. Then came the internet. An invention so big, it's hard to imagine life without it. It transformed how we learn, how we shop, how we work, and how we stay in touch. A world of information is now just one click away. And of course, the smartphone. It combines so many tools into one small device: a phone, a camera, a calendar, a GPS, a music player, and a computer. It changed how we communicate, how we take photos, and even how we wake up in the morning. Apps, social media, and video calls allow us to connect with people across the world instantly. Families stay close. Businesses operate across continents. And knowledge spreads faster than ever before. Let's also mention Wi-Fi. This invisible network lets us move freely while staying connected. It powers homes, schools, hospitals, and even public transport. Without it, many modern inventions wouldn't work as smoothly. These digital inventions didn't just make life easier. They reshaped our entire society. They gave people power, the power to speak, to learn, to explore, and to stay connected no matter where they are. So, after exploring the most iconic inventions of the past, we now look ahead toward the future of innovation. What will be the next big invention to change our everyday lives? One major area of progress is artificial intelligence. AI is already helping with things like online recommendations and voice assistants, but in the future, it may revolutionize healthcare, education, and even transportation. Imagine smart homes that learn your habits, or AI doctors that detect illnesses early. Then we have renewable energy technologies. Solar panels are getting cheaper and more powerful. New battery systems may allow homes and cars to run on clean energy all day, every day. A world powered without pollution? That could be closer than we think. 3D printing is another area to watch. Soon, you might print your own furniture, clothes, or even food at home. Hospitals are already using 3D printers to make custom body parts. This could make life-saving medical care faster and more affordable. And let's not forget space technology. With companies like SpaceX and NASA working on Mars missions, interplanetary travel might not be science fiction for long. Someday, your children could visit the moon like we visit another country. Finally, there's something very exciting. Biotechnology. Scientists are exploring ways to repair the body from the inside using tiny machines, and even grow human organs in labs. If successful, it could cure diseases we once thought were impossible. The future of innovation is both exciting and unknown. What we know for sure is this: just like the inventions of the past changed the world, the ones we create tomorrow will shape our lives in ways we can't yet imagine. And who knows, maybe you, the listener, will be the next great inventor.
Cinema Talks?
Welcome to Cinema Talks, where we connect the world of film to this week's main topic. Since today's episode is all about iconic inventions, we thought it was the perfect time to revisit the brilliant film The Imitation Game, starring Benedict Cumberbatch as Alan Turing. This movie tells the story of how Turing and his team at Bletchley Park cracked the Nazi Enigma code during World War II. To do that, Turing built one of the world's first computers, a machine that could rapidly test possibilities and help decode secret messages. But this invention wasn't just a tool for war, it was the foundation of modern computing. The smartphone in your hand, the laptop you use, even the artificial intelligence powering this podcast, all trace their roots back to Turing's early work. What makes the film powerful is not just the invention itself, but the human cost and the genius behind it. Turing's life was filled with challenges, but his invention changed everyday life in ways he never lived to see. So, if you're in the mood for a movie that's emotional, historical, and deeply connected to innovation, watch The Imitation Game. It reminds us how sometimes the most groundbreaking inventions come not from giant labs or corporations, but from a mind determined to solve a problem. And that's the magic of invention. Let's talk about another movie. Free Guy. A fun, action-packed film starring Ryan Reynolds as Guy, a background character, or NPC, in an open-world video game, who suddenly gains self-awareness. Now, what does this have to do with iconic inventions? Well, Free Guy explores the concept of artificial intelligence in a surprisingly deep way. Guy isn't just a programmed character. He begins to think, feel, and make choices, thanks to a powerful AI system developed inside the game. The movie gives us a glimpse into the potential and risks to future technologies. How AI could develop consciousness. How games and virtual worlds may blur with reality. And how ethical questions arise when machines become more human. It's also a reminder of how digital worlds are becoming a real part of our lives. From social media avatars to virtual assistants and beyond. Just like the inventions we discussed today, Free Guy shows how creativity, coding, and technology can come together to build something extraordinary. Even if it starts with a video game character in a blue shirt. So if you haven't seen it yet, Free Guy is more than laughs and action. It's a light-hearted look at a very real future where invention meets imagination.
Words of wisdom.
The best way to predict the future is to invent it. Alan Kay. This quote fits perfectly with our episode's theme on iconic inventions. Alan Kay, a computer scientist and visionary, believed that we shouldn't just wait for the future to arrive. We should create it ourselves. That's what inventors like Thomas Edison, Tim Berners-Lee, and even the creators of Free Guy did. They looked at the world, imagined something better, and built it. So, next time you have an idea, no matter how small, remember that shaping the future starts with one simple thing: trying. Whether you're designing something new, solving a problem, or dreaming up a world that doesn't exist yet, you're already on the path of invention. Let this quote inspire you to take action, not just observe. Because the future belongs to the creators.
Curious Minds. The Science Corner.
Let's turn our attention to a household invention that not only changed how we eat, but also revealed unexpected truths about science: the microwave oven. Believe it or not, the microwave was discovered by accident. In 1945, engineer Percy Spencer was testing a magnetron, a component used in radar systems, when he noticed the chocolate bar in his pocket had melted. Intrigued, he experimented further by placing popcorn near the device, and it popped. That simple moment of curiosity sparked the creation of the microwave oven. What makes microwaves so revolutionary? They cook food using electromagnetic waves that cause water molecules in the food to vibrate rapidly. This vibration creates heat from within, drastically reducing cooking time. But the impact of microwave technology didn't stop in the kitchen. Microwave radiation is now used in satellites and telecommunications, remote sensing and radar, even in astronomy, helping scientists study the early universe. The humble microwave oven is a great example of how a single accidental discovery can lead to life-changing innovations, both in our homes and in the world of science. So next time you reheat your coffee, remember, you're using the power of physics and wartime research to enjoy a warm drink. That brings us to the end of today's episode. From the light bulb to the internet, and from bicycles to microwave ovens, we've explored just how deeply inventions shape the way we live, work, eat, and even think. In our cinema talks, we talked about 2 movies. We saw how Free Guy imagines a world where AI and video games blur the line between virtual and real. In Words of Wisdom, we were reminded to focus on solutions, not just problems. And in the Science Corner, we learned how one accidental discovery changed science and our kitchens forever. If you enjoyed today's journey, don't forget to follow the podcast, leave a 5-star rating, and share it with your friends. You can also find us on YouTube and Instagram, just search British Accent Podcast. We post extra content, behind-the-scenes updates, and polls to choose future episode topics. Thank you for listening, and until next time. Keep learning, keep questioning, and never stop being curious. See you in the next episode of the British Accent Podcast.